The bridal consultant's face said everything I needed to know. My sister had done it again. That familiar practice smile that screamed, "I'm so sorry you have to deal with this," while Vanessa's voice carried through the boutique like a perfectly aimed arrow. I just think the dress needs to have room to grow, for when you're finally ready to be a mother. My name is Kylie, and I've spent 29 years being Vanessa's emotional punching bag. Today was supposed to be different. It was my wedding dress appointment, my moment. But there she was, lounging on the plush white sofa like it was her throne, sipping complimentary champagne while delivering daggers disguised as sisterly concern. "The dress fits perfectly," I said, smoothing the delicate lace over my hips. "Collins loves it." "Oh, sweetie, of course he does. But you know how traditional his family is. They're all about babies and continuing the family name." Vanessa's eyes met mine in the mirror. "I'm just looking out for you." Bailey, my best friend and maid of honor, stepped between us. "The dress is stunning. You look like a goddess, Kai." I caught the bridal consultant, Sarah, according to her name tag, trying to fade into the background. Can't blame her. The tension in the room was thick enough to cut with the overpriced cake knife they tried to sell me earlier. "Remember when we used to play wedding as kids?" Vanessa swirled her champagne. "I always went first, of course. Had to show you how it's done." "You went first at everything," I muttered, watching Sarah adjust the train. "What was that?" "Nothing." I forced a smile. "Thanks for coming today, sis." Bailey squeezed my hand as Sarah helped me step down from the pedestal. The ivory silk rustled around my feet, and for a moment I let myself feel beautiful. Colin's face when he saw me in this, that's what mattered. Not Vanessa's barbs about fertility, not her constant reminders of her firstborn status. "I need some air," I announced, heading toward the dressing room. "Bailey, help me out of this?" As we walked away, I heard Vanessa's friend Sydney's voice drop to a stage whisper, followed by muffled laughter. My stomach clenched. Inside the dressing room, Bailey's fingers worked quickly at the buttons. "You okay?" "I'm fine. It's just Vanessa being Vanessa." "She's been extra lately," the mother comments. Low blow. I stepped out of the dress, careful not to let my tears fall on the silk. "She knows exactly what she's doing. She always has. Remember when she told your prom date you had mono? Or when she accidentally spilled wine on my college acceptance letter before mom and dad could see it?" I pulled my regular clothes back on. God forbid I ever outshine her. Bailey's phone buzzed. Her sharp intake of breath made me turn. "What?" She held up her phone, showing me a screenshot of Sydney's latest Instagram story. The image was blurry, but I could make out Vanessa in the background, head thrown back in laughter. The caption made my blood run cold. "Can't wait for this wedding. Some princesses are about to learn their castles are made of sand. Howard Karma, Farker family secrets." "What does that mean?" I whispered. Bailey's face hardened. "Nothing good. But don't worry. We've got 2 months until the wedding. Whatever she's planning, we'll figure it out." When we returned to the main room, Vanessa was showing Sarah photos of her own wedding from 3 years ago. "Of course I got married at 28. Always the overachiever." She looked up at me. "But better late than never, right, sis?" I smiled tightly, gathering my things. "Thanks for your help today, Sarah. I'll take the dress." As we left the boutique, Vanessa called after me. "Don't forget, rehearsal dinner speech. I've been working on something special." Bailey's hand found mine again, squeezing hard. My phone buzzed. Another screenshot from her. This time of Sydney's latest tweet. "Some speeches are worth waiting years to give. Can't wait to see faces when the truth comes out." I stopped walking, my heart pounding. "Bailey? Yeah?" "I think my sister is trying to ruin my wedding." She pulled me into a fierce hug right there on the sidewalk. "Then we better make sure she fails spectacularly." "You need to stop obsessing over Sydney's social media," Bailey said, sliding a coffee across my kitchen counter 3 days later. "It's making you paranoid." Am I paranoid, though? I pulled up the latest screenshot on my phone. "Look at this." She posted about medical secrets yesterday. That has to mean something. Bailey took my phone and set it face down. Then we'll figure it out. But first, you need to eat something. The doorbell rang, making me jump. Through the window, I saw Vanessa's red Mercedes in my driveway. Surprise visit from Big Sis, I muttered. How convenient. I opened the door to find Vanessa clutching a wedding planning binder. Hey, stranger. Thought we could go over some rehearsal dinner details. Before I could answer, she breezed past me into the kitchen. Bailey gave her a cold nod. Oh, Bailey's here. How nice. Vanessa's smile didn't reach her eyes. Actually, could we talk privately, Kai? Sister stuff? Whatever you need to say, you can say in front of Bailey. Vanessa's phone rang. She glanced at it, then back at me. Sorry, have to take this. Wedding vendor drama, you know how it is. Or, well, you're learning. She stepped onto my back patio, sliding the glass door shut. But not completely. A sliver remained open, and her voice carried clearly. Sydney? Yeah, I'm here now. No, she has no idea. The speech is perfect, trust me. When I tell everyone about her condition... My heart stopped. Bailey was already moving, phone in hand, video recording. Colin's parents are so traditional. They'll flip when they find out she can't give them grandchildren. I mean, what kind of woman... I felt sick. Bailey's free hand gripped mine as we recorded. Or PCOS is just the beginning. Wait until I tell them about the surgery she almost needed. No, Collins doesn't know the full story. Yes, I'm sure. My perfect little sister isn't so perfect after all. Bailey stopped recording as Vanessa's laugh echoed through the gap. I collapsed onto a kitchen stool, shaking. Got it, Bailey whispered, quickly sending the video to both our clouds. Every word. The patio door slid open. Sorry about that, Vanessa chirped. Now, about the rehearsal dinner. Actually, I cut in, surprised by how steady my voice sounded. I'm not feeling well. Can we do this another time? Oh no, are you sick? Vanessa's concern would have seemed genuine to anyone who didn't know better. Is it your, condition acting up? Bailey's coffee mug hit the counter with a sharp crack. I think you should leave. Excuse me, Vanessa's eyes narrowed. I'm her sister. And I'm someone who actually cares about her. Leave. After Vanessa stormed out, I finally let the tears fall. She's going to tell everyone, at the rehearsal dinner, in front of Colin's whole family. No, she's not. Bailey pulled up the video. Because now we have proof of what she really is. I can't show that to Collins. His family, they're so conservative. What if they what? Love you for who you are? Support you through medical challenges? Isn't that what family should do? I thought about Collins, about how gentle he'd been when I first told him about my PCOS, how he'd researched it, asked questions, held me through the hard days. She's always done this, I whispered, made me feel broken. Less than. But I'm not the one plotting to humiliate my sister at her wedding. Bailey's eyes lit up. No, you're not. But maybe what? Maybe it's time for Vanessa to learn how it feels, to have her secrets exposed, to be the one who's not so perfect. I stared at the video playing silently on her phone. Vanessa's face animated with cruel joy as she plotted my downfall. The rehearsal dinner is in 3 weeks, I said slowly. She wants to give a speech. Bailey nodded. Let her try. But first, I pulled out my own phone. I need to make sure this video is backed up everywhere, and then we need to figure out exactly how to use it. Are you sure about this? I thought about all the times I'd stayed quiet, all the times I let Vanessa's cruelty slide to keep the peace, the way she'd weaponized my private medical struggles against me. My PCOS doesn't make me less of a woman, I said firmly, but her actions, they make her less of a sister. Bailey hugged me tight. Then let's make sure everyone sees exactly who she really is. I picked up my phone, my hand steady now. She wants to give the speech of a lifetime? Fine, but I'll be the one delivering the real punchline. Play it again, Bailey said, hunched over her laptop. We'd spent the last 3 hours in my home office, analyzing every second of Vanessa's recorded conversation. I can't. I've heard it enough. I paced the room, memories flooding back. You know what the worst part is? 3 years ago, when I almost lost my uterus, she visited me in the hospital just to say, I told you so. Bailey stopped typing. What? Yeah. I was lying there, terrified, and she brings up how she warned me about taking better care of myself when we were teenagers. I sank into my chair. Collins was there that day, too. I didn't know that. It was before we were dating. He was volunteering at the hospital. That's how we met, actually. I smiled despite myself. He brought me ice chips and stayed past his shift just talking to me. Tell me everything, Bailey said, closing her laptop. I was so scared. The doctors were talking about emergency surgery, and all I could think was, this is it. I'll never have children. Then this quiet, kind-faced volunteer comes in and starts telling me terrible dad jokes. Classic Collins. He made me laugh for the first time in days. When Vanessa showed up and started her usual routine, he actually asked her to leave, said I needed rest. I wiped away a tear. That's when I knew. Knew what? That some people choose to hurt you, and others choose to heal you. Collins chose to heal. Bailey reached for her phone. We need to get this recording enhanced. I know someone who works in audio production. A knock at the door cut her off. Through the window, I saw Collins' mother, Gabriella's car, in the driveway. Oh, God, I whispered. Did Vanessa already... Breathe, Bailey squeezed my hand. We don't know anything yet. I opened the door to find Gabriella holding a casserole dish. I thought you might need some comfort food, dear. Collins mentioned you weren't feeling well. My hand shook as I took the dish. That's so kind of you. May I come in? I'd like to talk. Bailey made herself scarce as Gabriella settled at my kitchen table. I braced myself for judgment, for questions about future grandchildren. Instead, she said, I saw Vanessa at the coffee shop today. My heart stopped. She seemed very interested in discussing your medical history. Gabriella, She held up a hand. When Collins was born, doctors told me I couldn't have more children. The things people said, the judgment. I know how cruel people can be about matters they don't understand. I stared at her, speechless. Whatever Vanessa told you, I want you to know something. Gabriella reached across the table and took my hand. My son loves you. And any woman strong enough to build a charity helping others while fighting her own battles? That's exactly the kind of person I want in my family. Tears spilled down my cheeks. She's planning to tell everyone at the rehearsal dinner, make it seem like I've been hiding things, lying to Collins. Is that what that recording is for? I froze. You heard? Your office window was open. I heard enough. She squeezed my hand. Sometimes the kindest thing we can do is expose unkindness for what it is. You're not angry? At you? No. At your sister? Gabriella's eyes hardened. Extremely. Bailey appeared in the doorway. Mrs. Watson, I have something you might want to hear. We played her the full recording. Gabriella's face grew stonier with each word. Use it, she said when it finished, and know that my husband and I will support you completely. After she left, I collapsed onto my couch. Did that really just happen? Looks like Vanessa's plan is backfiring already, Bailey grinned. Now, about that audio enhancement. Wait, I sat up straight. I have a better idea. What if we don't just expose her words? What if we show everyone exactly who she is, who she's always been? I'm listening. Remember all those texts she sent about my embarrassing condition? The social media posts she thought I never saw? The emails to Sydney? I pulled out my phone. I saved everything, every single receipt. Bailey's eyes widened. A greatest hits compilation? More like a truth compilation, set to the sound of her own plotting voice. I felt lighter than I had in weeks. Let her try to explain that away. Kylie Moore? Bailey laughed. You're actually kind of scary when you're righteous. No, I corrected her. I'm just done being scared. It's time everyone saw the real monster in this family. We spent the rest of the night building our case, piece by piece, and for the first time since the dress fitting, I felt truly powerful. Let Vanessa give her speech. I had a much better story to tell. You seem distracted, Collins said, squeezing my hand across the dinner table. Wedding stress? I forced a smile, trying to focus on our date night. Just tired. Lots of details to manage. Vanessa called me today. He took a sip of wine. She's worried about you. My fork clattered against the plate. What did she say? That you've been distant, avoiding family gatherings. He leaned forward. She mentioned something about a health issue? Did she now? I kept my voice steady, remembering the recording safely stored in my phone. And what exactly did my caring sister tell you about my health? Nothing specific, just that I should talk to you. His eyes were soft with concern. You know you can tell me anything, right? Before I could respond, my phone buzzed with a group text. From Vanessa to all the bridesmaids. Surprise! Special pre-wedding blessing circle this Saturday. Bring your fertility crystals and positive energy. Bailey responded instantly. What fertility crystals? Oh, Vanessa replied. Sorry, Kylie, didn't mean to trigger you. Just a little spiritual boost for your future journey to motherhood. I showed Collins the exchange. His face darkened. That seems pointed. Welcome to my entire life with Vanessa. I took a deep breath. Remember when we met? At the hospital? He nodded. I was there because of PCOS complications, polycystic ovary syndrome. It affects fertility, among other things. I watched his face carefully. Vanessa knows this. She's always known. Collins was quiet for a moment. Then, is this what she's been hinting at? Using against you? Yes. That's... He shook his head. That's cruel. There's more. I hesitated. Your mother knows. She figured it out, and she's been incredibly supportive. His eyes widened. Mom knows. Wait, is this why she brought you that casserole last week? I nodded, tears threatening. Hey, he reached across the table, taking both my hands. I love you, all of you. Whatever challenges we face together. My phone buzzed again. Another group text from Vanessa. Don't forget to bring baby photos to the rehearsal dinner, making a special presentation. Bailey's response was immediate. Some of us don't have baby photos handy. Oh, don't worry, Vanessa replied. I have plenty of family photos to share, some quite revealing. Collins read the exchange over my shoulder. Okay, what's really going on here? I told him everything. The dress fitting, the recorded conversation, his mother's support. With each word, his expression grew darker. Play me the recording, he said finally. I did. When Vanessa's voice filled the restaurant's quiet corner, dripping with malice as she detailed her plans to humiliate me, Colin's hands clenched into fists. I'll talk to her, he said when it finished. Make her stop. No, I touched his arm. She needs to learn there are consequences to cruelty. I have a plan. What kind of plan? Before I could answer, my phone lit up with an email notification from Sydney to Vanessa, but accidentally sent to the entire bridal party. Final timeline for Operation Truth Bomb. Start speech at 7:30. Drop medical reveal at 7:35. Show childhood photos at 7:40, including hospital pics. End with the fertility blessing announcement. Can't wait to see her face. Oh my God, Collins whispered. She's actually planning to destroy our rehearsal dinner? Yes. I showed him the growing collection of evidence on my phone. But I'm done being her victim. What are you going to do? I thought about Gabriella's support, about Bailey's fierce loyalty, about every time Vanessa had tried to make me feel small. I'm going to let her give her speech, I said. But first, I'm going to show everyone exactly who my sister really is. Every screenshot, every cruel text, every plotted moment of sabotage. The whole truth. He nodded slowly. No more hiding. Are you okay with this? It might get messy. Collins looked at the latest string of pointed messages from Vanessa. You know what? Some things need to get messy before they can get clean. My phone buzzed one final time. An email from Sydney to Vanessa, again mistakenly sent to all. Audio file for the speech is ready. Let's destroy her fairy tale. I showed Collins. Still with me? He kissed my hand. Always. Let's show them what real family loyalty looks like. For the first time in weeks, I felt completely certain. Vanessa wanted to play with fire? Fine. I'd show her how it feels to get burned. Mom, we need to talk about Vanessa, I said, sitting across from my mother at her favorite cafe. 1 week until the rehearsal dinner, and I couldn't put this off any longer. Oh, honey, not this again. Lauren stirred her tea absently. You've always been so sensitive about your sister. Did you know she dated Collins first? I watched her face carefully. 3 dates, 6 years ago. She never told me. Well, clearly it wasn't serious. She told him I was unstable, had medical issues that made me undateable. I pulled out my phone. Want to hear her say it herself? Mom's hand shot out, stopping me. I don't need to hear recordings. Whatever's going on between you girls. Girls? I laughed bitterly. We're grown women, Mom, and one of us is trying to ruin the other's wedding. Vanessa would never, she would never tell my prom date I was contagious, or sabotage my college acceptance, or show up at my hospital room just to gloat. Mom's teacup clattered against its saucer. That's not. She was just what? Being a sister? I leaned forward. Did you know she had a pregnancy scare in college? That got her attention. How did you? Sydney told Bailey. Apparently Vanessa was terrified of being judged, needed support, privacy. I let that sink in. Funny how she doesn't extend the same courtesy to me. Your sister has always been competitive. Competitive? I pulled up the fertility blessing circle text. This isn't competition, Mom. This is cruelty. She read the messages, her face paling. Oh. Yeah. Oh. I showed her Sydney's email next. She's planning to announce my medical history at the rehearsal dinner in front of Colin's entire conservative family. But surely she wouldn't. I played the recording. Mom's hands shook as Vanessa's voice filled our corner of the cafe, gleefully detailing her plans to humiliate me. Turn it off, she whispered. Oh, please. Why? Because it's harder to deny when you hear it directly? You don't understand. Your sister, she struggled when you were younger. Always felt like she had to be perfect. And that justifies this? No, but Mom twisted her napkin. There was a time, after her pregnancy scare, when she was so afraid of disappointing everyone, of losing her image. Maybe if I'd handled it better. Stop making excuses for her. Several cafe patrons turned to look. I lowered my voice. She's 31 years old. Her choices are her own. What are you going to do? Show everyone exactly who she is. Every screenshot, every cruel comment, every calculated moment of sabotage. It'll destroy her, like she's trying to destroy me. I stood up, gathering my things. You know what's funny, Mom? When I told Collins about my PCOS, he researched it, asked questions, held me when I cried about fertility fears. That's love. Kylie, what Vanessa does, that's not love. That's not even family. And I'm done pretending it is. My phone buzzed. Bailey calling. I have to go. But Mom, when everything comes out at the rehearsal dinner, remember, Vanessa chose this path. I'm just lighting the way. Outside, I answered Bailey's call. What's up? You need to get to the coffee shop on 5th? Now. Why? Because Vanessa's here, with Colin's mom, and you're not going to believe what I just heard. I was there in 10 minutes. Bailey waited outside, practically vibrating with nervous energy. They're still inside, she whispered, leading me to a window. Vanessa's trying to convince Gabriella that exposing your secrets is for your own good. Some nonsense about how the family deserves to know before the wedding. Through the glass, I watched Vanessa lean forward earnestly, while Gabriella's face remained impassive. Should we go in? I asked. Wait for it. Gabriella stood up suddenly, her voice carrying through the window. I think we're done here. And Vanessa, if you ever try to weaponize someone's medical history again, you'll learn exactly how protective I can be of my family. She walked out, leaving Vanessa gaping. When she saw us, Gabriella smiled. Perfect timing, she said. I believe I just watched your sister hang herself with her own rope. Did she admit to the plan? Bailey asked. Every detail. I recorded it all. Gabriella patted her phone. Sometimes the best defense is letting someone think they're winning. Inside, Vanessa was gathering her things, face flushed with anger. Our eyes met through the window. I smiled and waved. She knocked over her coffee cup. 1 week, I said quietly. 1 week until she learns what it feels like to be exposed. Are you ready? Bailey asked. I watched my sister storm out the back door, already furiously texting, probably to Sydney. I've been ready my whole life. The rehearsal dinner venue sparkled with elegant lighting and expensive champagne. Vanessa had positioned herself at the center table, practically glowing with anticipated triumph. She'd spent the last hour whispering with Sydney, occasionally shooting smug glances my way. Everything ready? Bailey murmured, adjusting my microphone pack discreetly. Laptops connected to the projector. Audio's tested. Your friend in tech confirmed the sound quality is perfect. I smoothed my dress. Now we wait. Collins appeared at my side, squeezing my hand. You okay? Never better. Vanessa clinked her glass, standing. Everyone, if I could have your attention, as maid of honor and beloved sister, I've prepared a very special speech. The room quieted. I caught Gabriella's eye across the table. She gave me a subtle nod. My dear baby sister, Vanessa began, her voice dripping honey. We've been through so much together. There's so much about you that people don't know. Actually, I stood up, cutting her off. Before we get to your speech, I have something I'd like to share. Vanessa's smile froze. It's about family, I continued smoothly. About truth. About the things we hide and the things we reveal. Bailey pressed a button on her phone. The lights dimmed slightly and the projector hummed to life. What are you doing? Vanessa hissed. Showing everyone exactly who you are, sis. I turned to the gathered guests. My sister has prepared a lovely speech about secrets. But first, let's hear what she really thinks about family. The recording played crystal clear through the venue's speakers. Vanessa's voice filled the room. When I tell everyone about her condition, Colin's parents are so traditional, they'll flip when they find out she can't give them grandchildren. Gasps echoed around the tables. Vanessa lunged for her purse, probably reaching for the power cord, but Gabriella was faster, smoothly moving it out of reach. The screen flickered to life, displaying a timeline of screenshots. Years of Vanessa's texts, emails, and social media posts rolled past. My sister's so pathetic with her medical drama. Can't wait to see her try to explain this to Collins' family. Some women aren't meant to be mothers anyway. Sydney tried to stand, but Bailey blocked her path with a champagne tray. And here, I continued as Vanessa's face turned purple, is my personal favorite from last week. The Fertility Blessing Circle text chain appeared on screen, followed by Sydney's leaked email detailing their plan. You see, I addressed the silent room, my sister thought she could use my PCOS diagnosis to destroy my relationship, to humiliate me in front of my new family. Colin stood beside me. Instead, she showed us exactly who she is. You can't, Vanessa sputtered. This is my speech. My moment. Your moment? Gabriella's voice cut through the tension. Your moment to deliberately hurt your sister? To expose private medical information for sport? I was protecting the family, Vanessa shouted. They deserve to know. Know what? Colin's father spoke up, surprising everyone. That my future daughter-in-law has faced health challenges with grace and strength? That she built a charity helping other women while you plotted her downfall? But she's broken. Vanessa's composure finally shattered. She's always been the broken one. I'm the perfect one. I did everything right. The room fell silent. Mom covered her face with her hands. Perfect? I walked toward her slowly. Perfect people don't destroy their sisters. Perfect people don't weaponize medical conditions. Perfect people don't record themselves plotting to ruin a wedding. You recorded me first, she screamed. Yes, because for once, I chose to protect myself instead of your image. Sydney tried to intervene. You don't understand. Oh, we understand perfectly, Bailey cut in, pulling up one final screenshot. Sydney's group chat about Operation Truth Bomb. Vanessa looked around wildly, finding nothing but disgusted faces. Mom, tell them how I'm the good one. But Mom just shook her head, tears streaming. The speech is over, Vanessa. I gestured to the door. You can leave now. This isn't... You can't... She grabbed her purse, backing away. You'll regret this. No, I said quietly. I won't. She fled, Sydney scrambling after her. The door slammed behind them. In the ringing silence, Collins wrapped his arm around my waist. You okay? I looked at our gathered families, not horrified by my medical history, but by Vanessa's cruelty. At Gabriella's proud smile, at Bailey's fierce grin. You know what? I picked up Vanessa's abandoned champagne glass. I've never been better. I raised the glass. To family, the ones we're born with, and the ones who choose us, even when we're not perfect. The room erupted in applause. Perfect, I realized, was never the point. Being real was. The aftermath was immediate. As servers cleared the rehearsal dinner plates, people approached me in waves, not with pity or judgment, but with stories of their own. My sister has endometriosis, Colin's cousin whispered, hugging me tight. Thank you for speaking up. PCOS runs in my family, another guest shared. We never talk about it. Maybe we should. Gabriella appeared at my elbow. Come with me? There's someone you should meet. She led me to a quiet corner where an elegant woman in her 70s waited, Colin's grandmother, Margaret. So, Margaret said, patting the seat beside her, you're the brave one who finally stood up to a bully. I wouldn't say brave. I would. She pulled out an old photograph. See this? Me at 25, right after they told me I couldn't have children. I stared at the young woman in the picture, seeing Gabriella's features. But you had adopted. Margaret smiled. Best decision I ever made. And look, my grandbaby's marrying a warrior. Tears pricked my eyes. I don't feel like a warrior. No, you just stood up in front of everyone and turned shame into power. Sounds pretty warrior-like to me. A commotion near the entrance drew our attention. Mom had finally caught up with Vanessa, their voices carrying through the open door. How could you? Mom was saying. Your own sister. How could I? How could you? Vanessa shot back, always taking her side. Taking her. I spent years making excuses for you, years watching you tear her down. I moved closer, Bailey right behind me. Because she's always been the victim, right? Vanessa spat. Poor little Kylie with her medical problems. Poor little Kylie needs extra attention. No, Mom's voice hardened. She needed a sister. Instead, she got a bully. I am not. You recorded yourself plotting to humiliate her. On her wedding weekend. In front of her new family. Mom stepped back. I don't even recognize you anymore. Mom, don't. Just don't. Mom turned away. I think you should skip the wedding. What? Vanessa's voice cracked. You can't be serious. Very serious. Mom straightened her spine. Actions have consequences. It's time you learned that. Vanessa spotted me in the doorway. This is your fault. You turned them against me. No, I said quietly. You did that all on your own. She lunged forward, but Collins appeared, his tall frame blocking her path. Leave, he said firmly. Now. Or what? You'll show them more videos? Play more recordings? She laughed hysterically. Go ahead. Show them all. Show them how perfect little Kylie is exactly who she's always been, Bailey cut in. Strong, compassionate, successful, everything you couldn't stand. Vanessa's face crumpled. I was here first. I did everything first. I was supposed to be the special one. You want to know what's special? I stepped around Collins, building people up instead of tearing them down, creating instead of destroying, loving instead of hating. Oh, spare me your inspirational speech. Fine. Here's something simpler. Get out. And don't come back until you learn what family really means. She stared at me, mascara streaking down her cheeks. For a moment, I saw the sister I used to love, before competition poisoned her heart. You'll regret this, she whispered, but the threat sounded hollow now. No, I said. I'll heal from this. The question is, will you? She turned and fled into the night. Sydney's car peeled out of the parking lot moments later. Mom touched my arm. I'm so sorry. All these years, I never saw. It's okay, I hugged her. We can't change the past, but we can build a better future. Back inside, Collins clinked his glass. Everyone, I'd like to say something. The room quieted. Tomorrow, I'm marrying the strongest person I know. Someone who turned pain into purpose, who built a foundation helping other women while facing her own battles. He found my eyes. Someone who showed me that real love isn't about perfection. It's about acceptance, growth, truth. Gabriella raised her glass. To Kylie and Collins. As the room echoed the toast, Bailey squeezed my hand. You okay? I looked around at these people. My chosen family, my supporters, my truth tellers. At Collins, who loved me not despite my challenges, but because of how I faced them. You know what? I really am. I raised my glass. To truth? To truth, they echoed. And in that moment, I felt lighter than I had in years. Sometimes losing a toxic sister means finding your real family. Tomorrow, I would walk down the aisle toward love, toward acceptance, toward a future built on truth instead of pretense. And for the first time in my life, I felt completely, utterly whole. The morning sun streamed through my office windows at the PCOS Foundation as I reviewed our latest support group statistics. A knock at the door made me look up. Package for you, Bailey said, dropping a small box on my desk. No return address. I recognized the handwriting immediately. It's from Vanessa. Want me to throw it away? No. I carefully opened the box. Inside lay a worn photo album and a letter. Dear Kylie, therapy is teaching me about accountability, about how hurt people hurt people. I'm learning that being first doesn't make you best, and being perfect doesn't make you right. I found this while cleaning out my apartment. Remember when Mom used to make us take a photo together every first day of school? I was always so focused on being in front. I never noticed how you were the one making me laugh in every picture. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I haven't earned it. But I am asking you to keep these photos. They remind me of who I was before competition poisoned everything. Just a big sister who loved making her little sister smile. V. Bailey read over my shoulder. Wow. Yeah. I flipped through the album. There we were. Gangly teens, gap-toothed kids, awkward preteens. In every photo, Vanessa was looking at the camera while I was looking at her, grinning. My office phone rang. The front desk. Ms. Moore, There's someone here to see you about the mentor program. Send them up. The door opened minutes later. Mom stepped in. Surprise, she said softly. I filled out the volunteer application. You, what? I want to help. Other mothers, other daughters. Maybe prevent them from making my mistakes. She noticed the album. Is that from Vanessa? I handed her the letter. She read it twice, tears falling. She's getting help? Looks like it. Good. Mom squared her shoulders. Now, about this mentor program. Colin said you're expanding to 3 new cities? 4, actually. I pulled up the presentation. We're focusing on teenage girls, helping them understand their bodies aren't broken, just different. Like someone should have done for you, Mom whispered. Like someone is doing now. I smiled. Better late than never, right? Bailey's phone buzzed. Speaking of Collins, he says the house inspection is done. All clear for closing next week. Perfect timing. I patted my still flat stomach. We'll need the extra room soon. Mom's head snapped up. Are you 8 weeks? I grinned. Turns out managing PCOS with the right medical team makes a lot of things possible. She burst into tears, hugging me tight. Another knock. Gabriella entered, carrying lunch bags. Hope I'm not interrupting. Thought my favorite daughter-in-law might need sustenance. Actually, I said, you're just in time for some news. As we shared the announcement, I studied these women. My mother finding her voice through service. My mother-in-law, who'd become a fierce advocate. My best friend who'd helped me find my strength. My phone lit up with a text from an unknown number. Saw your foundation's new billboard. Different isn't broken. Powerful message. Proud of you, little sister. V. I showed Mom the message. She squeezed my hand. Are you going to respond? Bailey asked. I thought about the photo album, about therapy and accountability, about breaking cycles. Not yet, I said, but maybe someday. Gabriella unpacked lunch, including my current pregnancy craving, pickled carrots. You know what I love about this foundation? What's that? It proves that sometimes our deepest wounds become our greatest gifts to others. I looked around my office at the support group schedules, the teenage mentorship programs, the medical advocacy posters, at the photo album showing 2 sisters before pain built walls between them. You know what the best revenge is? I asked, biting into a carrot. What? They chorused. Living well. Building something meaningful from the rubble of what tried to break you. Mom raised her water bottle. To living well. And to different, Bailey added. And to healing, I finished, thinking of Vanessa's letter. Even when it takes time. Outside my office, I could hear the bustling energy of the foundation. Phones ringing, support groups gathering, young women finding their voice. My voice. The sun caught my wedding ring as I reached for another pickle. Different isn't broken. Neither was I. And somewhere out there, a sister was learning that perfect isn't real either. Sometimes the happiest endings aren't about forgiveness or forgetting. They're about finding your truth, building your tribe, and creating something beautiful from the ashes of what burned. That's not just revenge. That's revolution. And I was just getting started.